Okay, hello everyone. My name is Sheng Dao. So I will be your instructor for this course, Introduction to Computing Matlab Application. So I will briefly give you guys some introduction about what we'll be expecting in this course. Okay. So the course objective is to help you guys understand the fundamentals of Matlab application. And you guys can also apply writing programs using Matlab. And you guys can solve engineering problems using Matlab. These are the outlines. Chapter 1, we will give you a very brief introduction to Matlab. Chapter 2, we will introduce to you array operation in Matlab, and followed by script and function, then string and plotting. Finally, we will give you graphic user interface programming. Okay, so next is grade distribution. So for your midterm, it will be 30%. Okay, for your final, it will be 40%. And for the quiz, in-class assignment and other activities, we will have each 10%. So all in all, you guys will have like 30% for projects or individual contribution. Okay. The main textbook for this course will be Introduction to Matlab for Engineers, 3rd edition, from McGraw-Hill. From the author is William Palm. Okay. So the academic policy. As always, at the end of each chapters, there will be assignments. Okay. So it's your responsibility to complete all the assignments, even though they are non-graded. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask in class by email, or you can drop by even A2504, which is my office. And you need to form groups for your final projects with maximum 3 members, okay? The hard deadline for project submission will be 1 week before final lecture. And the requirements for your projects, reports, and also handouts for the slides can be found on your respective blackboard for the course, okay? Okay, let's move on to our real lecture. Chapter 1, Introduction to Matlab. So some practical requirement for the course. Please install Matlab at least 2016A or later version on your own personal computers or laptops. And our computer lab at 82613 is actually open for your own practice if you wanted to. And there have to be no classes during that time, okay? So if this means if there's no class in 82613, you can actually use it. Just need to register to the technician that is actually stay in that room, maybe Mr. Sun or Mr. Chuk, okay? So our slide is actually prepared in such a way so that you can learn by following the slide exactly, okay? So I assume you guys already have your Matlab installed in your personal computers, okay? So at first, how to start Matlab, okay? In your computers, please choose the Matlab icons and double click, and this is what you got, okay? The figure on the bottom right corner is actually what is shown when you run Matlab, okay? There are a few windows. So we have the directory, okay? So currently it is at drive E, Matlab Win32. So you have menu names. Actually, they are quite standard, like File, Edit, Debug, Parallel Desktop, Window, and so on. And toolbar that you can use. Okay, so there's the biggest portion of the Matlab interface will be the command window, which can actually showing what you actually write, your code, in real time, in command window. So in order to type any command, you have to use after the command prompt. Okay. Once a command is typed, then you have to enter the enter key. Okay. Then the command will be executed. It is not possible to go back to the previous command and change. However, you can copy the previous command and modify it, okay, to run a new command. So in Matlab, you can actually use some predetermined script file which have the extension .m, for example, file name something .m. So it can be opened by Matlab editor. So in the workspace window, which is on the middle left of the Matlab GUI, so you can actually see what are the variables that being created due to the command window. Okay, and you can actually check the value of that variables by double clicking on the variables. Okay, and you can actually have also command history window. In this window, all of the previous commands are actually recorded, so you can see what have been done earlier. Okay, so other standard keys like backspace, delete, left or right, up or down, actually similar to other software. So basically, in Matlab, we measure during any interactive sessions on which the user interact with Matlab. Okay, for example, let's say I write 2 left dash 5. So this means I want to calculate the result of 2 divided by 5. So obviously the result will be 0.4. By default, Matlab will use 4 decimal places in the result, but of course you can change this to much different type if you want. So variables, actually we can use any variables name that we want. Just try to avoid some Matlab restricted variables. Okay, later on we will know what are those, but for the time being, let's say I want to put x equal to 5 divided by 8, so x now will be 0.625. okay, and Matlab actually ignores spaces, so the result on the left and the result on the right actually the same. Okay, so when we do not specify any variable name for the command, then Matlab will use the default ANS as a temporary variable. So ANS stands for answer, okay, the temporary answer, and we can use that for the most recent value. Okay, for example, if you try to change, let's say at first 5 divided by 8, so answers will be 0.625, but later on we input another command 2 divided by 5, so answers will now be 0.4. okay, and when we type 5 times answer ANS, the result will be 2. okay, that is quite easy to understand. So next is the concept of argument. Okay, argument is actually the things that come after the functions. Okay, for example, let's say we have this sqrt open and close parenthesis 9. So this, what does it mean? The function name is sqrt. Its purpose is actually do the square root of the number behind it. Okay, so actually 9 is the argument of the function name sqrt. So the result will be 3 because 3 squared equals to 9. Okay. The order of precedence is actually similar to other common mathematical knowledge. For example, exponentiation will be done first, then followed by multiplication, and right division, left division, addition, and lastly subtraction. Okay, right division and left division, later on we will try some example, then you will know more in details. Okay, and also if we put some special characters, then the order of precedence will change slightly. Okay, so the order of precedence with special characters, first will be parentheses. Okay, the innermost will be done first, then we go from inner to outer, then followed by exponentiation from left to right, then multiplication and division also from left to right, addition and subtraction also from left to right. Okay, so when you want to change the orders, please always use parentheses. Okay, let's say example. The first example, 7 plus 8 divided by 2. So the answer will be 11. But when we put the parentheses between 7 plus 8, then the result will be 7.5, because 7 plus 8 is actually 15. 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. Okay, similarly we have the next example.